It is very good news that COVID-19 vaccines began to be distributed in December. The bad news is that the scammers are using this exciting news to engage in fraud. According to the Arlington Police Department, fraud schemes related to COVID-19 vaccines have emerged. Scammers are requesting money or personally identifiable information in exchange for getting vaccines. Arlington's Chief of Police, Julie Flaherty, says various types of scams related to vaccines are happening nationwide.
We've been very fortunate in Arlington that we haven't seen any COVID-19 vaccine-related scams. We've seen other scams, of course, but here in Arlington, we haven't had anyone report that they have been the victim of a COVID-19 vaccine. But we want to make sure that the residents in Arlington know that this is happening and that there are people out there taking advantage of our most vulnerable population, including our seniors. We see different types of scams related to the COVID-19 vaccine, what they're seeing statewide, attempting to get money from people in exchange for having early access to the vaccine. I would suggest that if somebody contacted you and offered access to the vaccine, that they contact their primary care physician, or they could go to the mass.gov website.
Christine Shaw, Executive Director of Arlington's Council on Aging, also warns the public not to fall for phone calls, text messages, or emails that ask you to prepay for available COVID-19 vaccines.
It's definitely a scam if you get that text, email, or phone call. There will be no pharmacies calling you to tell you that vaccine is available and you can prepay for your dose. As what we've been told is that the vaccine is going to be free of charge to people, so you should not have to pay for it. So that's a red flag right there if there's ever someone trying to get you to pay for a vaccine or pay for earlier access to the vaccine.
Shaw also talks about grandparent scams, which target seniors by pretending to be younger relatives.
In this case, most recently, they've been saying they're in need of money so they can receive a COVID vaccination or a COVID test. And they ask for a credit card over the phone so that the grandchild could get the test done.
Lastly, she shares tips about how to avoid fraud schemes related to COVID-19 vaccines.
Just being aware that these exist, and it's very common for people of all ages to fall for them. It's not something that really is obviously a scam. No one will ask you for any of your personal information ever over the phone, not your social security numbers, not your credit card numbers, and especially related to COVID and the COVID vaccine.
Remember, don't share any personal information, and if you encounter any suspicious activity, call the police right away. Happy, safe New Year! For ACMi News, I'm Inyeong Kim.